In this next video, we're going to graph C and D in your list of examples there. So we're going to continue on with C, where we are defining a piecewise function h of x, and it's defined in two parts, and those two parts, once again, are lines. So we're going to define that first part, or graph that first part, letting the computer catch up. We're going to graph that first part, that line y equals negative 3x plus 2. That's the first line we're going to graph. And we're going to graph that for all x less than or equal to 2. So a couple of things we know about this line. Y-intercept is 2. And since x is 0 is less than or equal to 2, we know that this line will go through that point 0, 2. Okay. And we know the slope is negative 3. So we are going to go down 3 to the right 1, down 3 to the right 1. If we let x equal 2, negative 3 times 2 is negative 6, plus 2 is negative 4. So at 2, we're going to be down here at this point, 2, negative 4. So this is what this line looks like, and it's going to go all the way to the left, so it's going to keep going. This is the point 0, 2, and we've got an x-intercept there. Well, if we plug 0 in for y and solve it, we would subtract 2, so we'd have negative 2 equals negative 3x, so then x would be 3 halves. There's your x-intercept right there, 1 1/2. Okay, so then the next part or piece of this we'll graph in red. I warned you a couple videos ago, I'm very much a color person. What do we know about this line? Well, we know that the y-intercept is negative 4 and the slope is 1/2, but we don't worry about the y-intercept for this part because we're only concerned about those x values greater than 2. So we're going to find the value of this function at x equals 2. So 1/2 times 2 is 1, minus 4 is negative 3. Now, the thing with this is it's only x is greater than. So it doesn't include 2 itself. So we're going to put an open circle at the point 2 and negative 3, because that's the value at x equals 2. And we have a line that is going to the left, or I'm sorry, going up 1 and over 2, slope of 1/2. And that's what that looks like. We're going to have an x-intercept out here that we better label. How do we find that x-intercept? We let 0, or y be 0. So we're going to add 4. 4 is equal to 1/2 x. So then we would divide by 1/2, which is the same thing as multiplying by 2. 4 times 2 is 8. So that is the x-intercept of that piece. And again, with these, do not worry so much about domain and range. We will talk about that in class. Now for D, once again, we have the x and the y axis. And we have 3 different pieces, something to the left of negative 2, between negative 2 and 2, and to the right of 2. This first piece is just going to be a horizontal line. We will do that one in blue, the line y equals 4. So up here at 4, and we are going to continue on to negative 2. So this is the point, negative 2, 4. And it's going to stop there. And we are going to have a closed circle there as it includes negative 2. Okay? Now the next piece is y equals x squared. And we'll draw that one in red. So y equals x squared. And again, that one between -2 and 2, if you recognize this from Algebra 1, you'll know that that is a parabola. So I'm just going to do a quick plug-in of integers. At -2, we're at 4. So again, we have an open circle here at 4, but that's already graphed in the previous one. If x was -1, -1 squared is 1, so we'd be down here, about there. Okay. If it were 0, 0 squared is 0. If it were 1, and if it were 2, we'd be back up here at 4. Okay, so that is what that graph looks like. It is a parabola between 0 and 4. And then the last one we will graph in bright green, y equals 4. That's to the right. Well, again, it's going to include 2, so we'll put a closed circle, and it's a horizontal line going to the right. And that's what that piecewise graph looks like. We have 2 more coming in the next video.